Chapter 18, Shadow of the Valkyria.
Your Highness honors me with an audience. I offer my thanks. We Maximilians stand humbly before you. Your Highness, you must allow me to apologize for the somewhat brutish manner of my entrance to your domains.
We'd expect no less from Europa's premier commander, the great Maximilian. To cross our sovereign border with such lightning speed. Your tactics are admirable.
And you are the one they call Borg. You attempt to ally yourself with the Federation. Then you turn over a new leaf and become the Empire's informant.
It is all to ensure that Gallia remain a stable nation, of course. Ours is a small land, as you know. Our fate is made secure by such agreements. The sovereign state of Gallia will accept unconditional surrender and become a vassal state to your empire. In return, by our treaty, and your grace's favor, I, your humble servant Borg, will rule Gallia in your stead.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. What use could we possibly have for Gallia as a vassal state? We, Maximilian, shall be the one to assume the Archduchy, and then Gallia shall be made anew under us.
But we agreed.
Then as sole master of this palace, we shall wake the lance that lies resting within its walls. Valkov, the key to ruling all Europa.
The lance. How could you know?
My dear princess, Cordelia, you shall serve as our bride. The Valkyrian bloodline, legacy of the great House Rongries, would be a fitting dowry for us, King of Europa.
The Valkyrian bloodline? I see. You wish to ransom Europa with its power.
Indeed. The reverence and respect the people of this continent hold for that ancient blood is undiminished to this day.
Well then, I hate to disappoint you, but this is the true face of House Rongries.
Your Highness, what are you doing? That's impossible.
Really?
As you can see, my blood is not Valkyrian. It is Darkson.
Princess, what is the meaning of this?
Thousands of years passed. The Valkyria invaded from the north to lay claim to Europa. The indigenous people, the Darkson tribes, fought them for control of this land. But the powers of Ragnite they possessed were too great. The Darkson cities were burned. The struggle continued, though its conclusion was clear. Ultimately, one influential clan among the Darkson tribes defected to the Valkyrie side. The Darkson were defeated and quickly became slaves to the Valkyrie.
And victorious, the Valkyria authored history to blame Darksons for scorching the earth. Of course, then the descendants of that clan of treacherous Darksons lived on as...
Yes, as House Rongries, the Archdukes of Gallia. In return for their betrayal, the Valkyria established them as the rulers of Gallia. We donned the identity of our masters and were complicit in the Darkson slander.
With a perfect scapegoat, the people quickly acquiesced to new rule. A common tale.
A common tale that has caused me much grief. To face my people deceptively has pained me. Until the day came that I ran from that pain, trading my free will for comfort. Were it not for a single officer's words, would no doubt still be lost in that conceit. I am bound by neither fate nor duty to obey the false blood within me. I live by my own will. I live for the sake of Gallia and its people. This, and this alone, is my calling.
All the more reason to be my bride.
No. For the sake of my people, I shall see you dead!
What delightful barbarism. Do all Gallian brides share your lust for blood? If you desire safety for your people, it would behoove you to obey me, Highness. The Valkov is in my possession. To see your homeland burn again, that would be a shame.
Has something happened? What's all the commotion?
It's them. The Imperial Army invaded Randgries.
What?
They crashed through the city walls with a huge tank and drove it into the castle. And now they're doing some kind of work on the tank still half stuck into the castle.
Work on that? Did they learn of the Valkov's location? No. I can't afford to wait around here. Sorry, but... My chest... It's tight. It hurts.
What? What's wrong?
My heart. Help! Help me!
Are you all right? Hey! Talk to me!
I'm sorry. Let go of... Forgive me. I've got to get to Randgries. I just hope I'm in time.
We're drawing close to Randgries now. As for our plan of attack, once we arrive, focus your attacks on the spot damaged by Sergeant Melchiot in the previous battle. Exploit that, gain access to the interior, and destroy the Dreadnought's engine. Follow?
Yes, Captain.
I'm confident you can do this, soldiers. You are dismissed.
Quite a risky operation.
I know. I'm worried about morale if everyone feels like it's a suicide mission.
We're used to your crazy missions by now, aren't we, guys?
Yeah, you bet. Nothing bothers me anymore now.
And it helps to know that if we can just win this one, our war will be over.
We'll do it for Isara, and all the other friends we lost along the way.
And for all of Gallia's people.
One more victory, and they'll have peace.
Words fail me. Thank you.
All right. Everybody, get ready to deploy.
Almost showtime, huh, Welkin? Militia rides into Randgries Showdown. Mind if I put y'all's story on the radio? I'm afraid I can't go help you fight. But I'd like to do what I can to stand by you, as ace journalist Irene Ellett.
Okay, why not? Our activities are hardly a secret to the Empire at this point. Irene Ellett, huh? I can't remember ever hearing your full name like that.
At least until the war ends and I get married. Then I'll be Irene Kohler, just FYI. This'll be my last big assignment as an Ellet. Time to do the old name proud.
Now that I think about it, I should probably go back to the headquarters and read all the articles.
Give me a status report on affixing the lance.
Work should be complete shortly, followed by final testing, sir.
Good. Keep it moving along, soldier.
Yes, sir.
I knew it. They came to the capital to get at the Valkov. Bastards. You won't have it.
Now, Your Highness, affix your signature to this treaty of marriage. You have no choice if you wish to keep your people safe.
Your Grace, sir!
Be silent. This treaty seals our victory.
Sir, the Gallians have broken through the vassal defenses. General Jaeger is defeated. Now the militia is headed here to Randgrease even as we speak.
What?
Newsflash from Radio GBS, your source for the news. The Gallian militia has faced and thwarted the Empire's defenses at Vassal Bridge. They march now to the capital to liberate it from occupation.
All right! That's my bro, Welkin!
My yank!
Ha! Reckon I did a fair job whipping those kids into shape.
Citizens of Gallia, keep your faith alive. Turn and face the threat ahead and fight!
Go, Velkies, go! We're all cheering for you. Make us proud.
Belgian, if you're watching up there, your son could probably use a little help.
So be it. We shall fight them off ourselves. Quickly, to the Marmota.
Yes, sir.
Last time, their war witch had us on the defensive. But now we possess a lance of our own. Let us settle this now for all time.
Your Grace, may the Valkyria protect you. Leave the defense of Castle Randgrease to me.
Do we look the fool that might trust a dog with so little loyalty to his master as you? Put this man to death by fire this morning. The Gallia of tomorrow has no place for him.
Maximilian, we had agreed. We had an understanding.
All right, come along.
Stop this! Desist at once! Who are you to touch me?
Welkin, you are our final hope. Please, I beg of you, make victory yours.
sighted ahead, sir. Range, 4,000 meters.
What the? What's that big pointy thing on top?
I've seen that. It's just like the Valkyrian lance, the one that Alicia carried. Look out, Sevens! Clear the Marmota's forward path! Move it!
The Gallian militia is fanned out ahead of us in line, sir. Range 4,000 meters.
They say that in antiquity, the Valkyria called upon Valkov's light to crush and subjugate the entire Darksin tribe. The greatest weapon of all time, fashioned into something as pedestrian as a castle tower. How could they have known? And now it awakens, shouldered by the Marmota we have engineered to bear it, a Leviathan upon the land. Now, know the futility of your struggles. Bow before the terrible light that once scorched the earth.
Yeah, in the next battle, best not to stand in front of that.
The Marmotas fired an unidentified beam of light. Squads 4 and 5 have been wiped out.
Hot damn! If we'd been one step slower, we'd be a big pile of dust by now.
Stay clear of the front of that thing! Move around to its side!
Dare you face us yet, after that display? We wield power enough to bring any foe to his knees. This is the future face of warfare. To impress the magnitude of our power upon the world, you shall all die gruesomely. Now, cross us if you dare. Our history of unrivaled glory begins here.
And then there's an entire another page of this chapter, so headquarters instead. Let's see. Oops, wrong one. Command room is what I wanted.
Hello, Welkin. Here to fine-tune your squad?
Let's see. I've got 8 open slots, and I'm probably gonna want another... Yeah, I can't see the whatchamacallums combat potentials. I'll just grab this guy.
I'm Niels Darden. I'll see you on the field.
Come back anytime you need to change your lineup, Lieutenant.
Hey! Dropping by to read the writing on the wall? That's a good man.
Alright, so, cut off supply base. I think I already read that. Losing the clone base. Yep, okay. Militia issues draft notices. Yeah, already read that too. Central Gallian Command reported on the 15th that the militia had encountered and routed a contingent of Imperials stationed in Marius, the culmination of a clandestine investigation into reported Imperial activity in the area. The Badlands topography is poorly suited to combat maneuvers, and the region holds little to no strategic value, making the Empire's goal there unclear. One theory suggests that the desert region is home to an as-of-yet unmined lode, and that Imperial forces were stationed there for the pursuit of Ragnite speculation. During a press session on the 10th, Gallian Prime Minister Borg called for talks with Federation Ambassador Townshend, slated to visit Gallia at the end of the month. In light of the increasingly complex conflict between the Federation and Empire, however, many suspect the Federation views this as a chance to acquire Gallia for its resources. This announcement has been met with vehement opposition from members of the Parliament with strong ties to the former Imperial cartels. Ambassador Townshend responded to the invite in a public address, stating that he firmly believes that joining hands to thwart the Empire's hubristic ambitions is essential to assuring peace for Europa. Central Gallian Command reports that a recent chance encounter with Maximilian, Imperial commander of the Gallian invasion, near the ruins in central Barius ended in the Empire's defeat and retreat from the Badlands. Speaking with one Gallian soldier who fought in the desert operation revealed a shocking eyewitness account of one female soldier among the Empire's army batting a tank shell out of the air by brute force. Army doctors looked into the possibility of combat stress-induced hallucination, but several other testimonies have arisen to corroborate this wild account. Other reports suggest she resembled one of the Valkyria of legend, while the Gallian army has issued no official statement on the matter. Chief Valence of the Gallian Geological Survey reported recent discoveries of 3 new lodes of Ragnite amid the southeastern mountains. Imperial capture of the key cities in Ragnite-rich northern Gallia has meant a steady drain on domestic productivity. Paired with a rising demand for Ragnite for military uses, scarcity of the ore has become a critical problem. At the last survey meeting, Chief Valence stated that the new discovery would likely go a long way toward filling the vacuum that has hounded the Gallian energy supply of late. Investigations into the size and quality of the newly found lode are currently underway. After months of deadlock, the Southern Gallian force broke through the defenses at Norville on the 14th. Built along a natural wall of thick forest, the enemy encampment had managed to resist all prior advances. According to the official report, Regiment 10 of Gallia's army was responsible for this victory, but our on-site correspondent calls it a militia win. En route back from their operations at Barius, Squad 7 of the militia's 3rd Regiment met with a surprise attack from the Imperial defenses at Norville and engaged the enemy in combat. Squad 7's brilliant efforts created a crack in the Empire's defense that Army Regiment 10 was able to exploit in a swift blitz, breaking the Norville defensive line apart for good. An EGP release issued on the 20th announced that the Glory of Speed, GOS, Europa's top motor race, has been called off for the year. This marks the first such cancellation in the event's 24-year history, likely the result of difficulties in hosting an international race of this scale amid the worsening conflicts unfolding across the continent. The progress being made by automobile makers today is largely drafted into military use, and more than a few manufacturers have spurned such public events for fear of trade, and by extension, government, secrets being leaked, further informing the decision to call off the race. These explanations offer little solace, though, to disappointed racers and their fans. A wall-exclusive scoop. Early morning on the 23rd, Princess Cordelia was abducted and taken forcibly from the grounds of Castle Randgrease. Subsequent investigation has shown the culprit was Federation Ambassador Townshend in Gallia on an official visit. After a banquet at the castle, he forced the princess into an armored vehicle he had prepared and made for the port. Thankfully, his escape was thwarted by members of Squad 7 of the Gallian militia, who safely recovered Princess Cordelia in time. The Gallian government has declined to address this matter publicly, likely in an effort not to endanger relations with the Federation while Gallia remains locked in combat with the Empire's forces. Castle Randgri's audience hall saw an award ceremony on the 28th in which militia officer Lieutenant Vulcan Gunther, 22, was presented with the prestigious Gallian Medal of Honor, given to those who have gone above and beyond the call of duty in service of Gallia's interests. The unicorn emblazoned medal was presented by Princess Cordelia herself, who also graced the young soldier with wishes for his continued loyalty. After the ceremony, Gunther addressed the press, saying that he hoped to do right by this honor by becoming a better man and officer. Medal hung proudly around his neck. The Gunther family has the rare distinction of being among the first to receive this highest of awards twice in as many generations. On the 10th, Central Gallian forces were successful in freeing the northern industrial cities from Imperial control. The Gallian army and militia worked in tandem to take Fosen, Daciel, and Junlak back simultaneously. Surviving members of the Empire's defense were seen staging a mass retreat from the north as the Gallian army began its seek and destroy mission, Operation White Steed. As they hunt down those stragglers, northern Gallia is now all but completely free of Imperial influence. Just as the loss of the industrial centers had meant a heavy drain on its finances, their liberation is now expected to act as a shot in the arm for the Gallian economy. Books on the Valkyrian legend are selling in record numbers of late. According to a recent Gallian Literacy Review survey, titles that promise the truth behind the mystery of the ancient tribe are enjoying special success. The Valkyria myth has ties today to religion and history alike, and lends base material to any number of popular novels. The reason for this sudden boom may well lie in the uncertainties of a nation at war. One poll recently confirms the common sense notion that in times of peril, people are more likely to turn to religion to pray for salvation. Recent claims of a Valkyria working for the Imperial Army, still believed spurious, are no doubt also helping to push the trend along. After a heated struggle, the 3rd Regiment took the sanguine shores of Marbury, the Empire's final holding in northern Gallia. Surrounded by sheer cliffs, Marbury is a natural citadel that has proved impossible to fell in previous bids staged by the Gallian army. The militia's strategy hinged upon a newly developed form of smokescreen grenade to mask their approach and baffle Imperial gunmen. The inventor of these life-saving grenades, Corporal Isara Gunther, 16, was a tank pilot for Squad 7 and promised to be one of Gallia's great minds in engineering until Imperial fire at the end of this mission claimed her life. Her loss is a blow to the nation and to her squad, who saw her buried in the war cemetery near the capital. As EW2 continues to expand in intensity and scale, the number of war orphans has climbed to record new heights. According to a recent study by EWORF, the European War Orphan Rescue Fund, an NGO, the number of children who have lost parents is rivaled only by the number who have lost access to educational facilities despite an expressed desire to learn. Gallia is no exception to this continent-wide trend, though its parliament voiced plans for securing basic education and job training in a recent session. EWORF has approached leaders from each of Europa's nations, calling for the establishment not just of orphanages, but of a full infrastructure to support these children as they grow into self-supporting adults. A recent release from Gallia's central forces confirmed that the border town of Brule was successfully taken from Imperial control. The armies of Gallia and the Empire now stand face to face along the massive Magyar plains, braced for a direct and all-out clash. Brule represents a key Imperial supply route, making this militia win one with repercussions that extend far beyond this small border town. In a remarkable coincidence, the officer who led the Brule operation and leader of the militia Squad 7, Vulcan Gunther, 22, is a Brule native himself. He returned to claim his town from the Empire after being ousted by their original invasion over 6 months ago. Randgrease's National University Department of Archaeology reported a theft from its archives on the 15th. The objects in question are 2 artifacts of unknown age unearthed last year from a university dig site in Barius, and are said to contain exceptionally pure ragnite. Though their creation likely predates written history, their shapes bear strong resemblance to the lance and shield spoken of in the myth of the Valkyria. Whether these were truly used by the warrior of legends, or whether they bore ceremonial significance remains unclear. An investigation into who was behind the missing items is currently underway, but no leads have surfaced at present time. The Gallian army engaged the Empire at Nagyar on the 20th, in the start of what promises to be an all-out confrontation. The opposing armies combined to number several tens of thousands as both nations' principal forces clash. Details from the battlefield are still sparse, but our investigation shows that the offensive launched against the Empire's right flank was completely wiped out by armored units led by Imperial General Salvaria Bless. Bless, said to be descended from the ancient Valkyria, has single-handedly defeated every squad Gallia has sent her way since the hostilities at Nagyar began. The Gallian army has yet to officially comment on the situation. Gallian government officials announced on the 17th that national qualifying examinations for all trades will be cancelled. The ongoing conflict has made safe and fair testing an impossibility, authorities related at a press conference. The cancelled tests correspond to qualifications for 6 trades, with the baker trade being the oldest. Gallian law has long required every baker to train under a master until he or she passes the national exams to become a master and operate their own bakery in turn. For the sake of Gallia's future bakers, as for all the nation's people, it is imperative that this war end as soon as possible. The morning of the 28th brought news of the Gallian forces' victory at Nagyar. Though the exact figures are still unclear, it is safe to say that this win came at significant cost in Gallian lives, with at least as many Imperial casualties to match. That cost might have been far greater had a second Valkyria not emerged from among the Gallian force. In a duel fought with the lances and shields of legend, it was the Gallian woman who claimed victory, and the remaining Imperial defenses fell soon after. Though army officials have issued no comment on the Gallian Valkyria, the survivors of the Nagyar operation likely have her to thank for their lives. The EHRI, European Human Rights Initiative, has asked the continent's leaders to address the mounting refugee problem. Armed conflict and displaced people have long gone hand in hand, but the current condition of Europa has refugee numbers higher than ever recorded, and the question of how to help them is fast becoming a paramount issue. EHRI volunteers are slated to be sent to camps all over the continent to offer much-needed food and medical treatment to their inhabitants. Ben Tamal, an EHRI spokesman who has worked on behalf of refugees for 2 decades, stated, "Man's hope for peace are hollow without the will to cast aside superficial differences in race, nation, and religion in order to win it." An army relay has confirmed that Gallia took the citadel at Gerlandio in the latest clash at Gallia's border. The erstwhile headquarters of the Imperial Command fell after the army opened its front gates with an explosive railcar and subsequently flooded inside. Though no official numbers were released, the operation cost Gallia's forces significant casualties. Early the following morning, a huge explosion of unknown cause razed the surrounding area, annihilating the primary division of Gallia's army with it. Commander of the Central Gallian Force, General Damon, was also lost in the blast. At present, experts suggest an accident in the Citadel's armory as the cause, but no firm details have yet been uncovered. In an independent investigation into the blast at Gerlandio, our correspondent found the blast radius and conditions of the aftermath closely matched those in the Dresden incident within the Empire during EW1. caused when an explosion within the arsenal at one Imperial outpost started a chain reaction among weapons, gunpowder, and a massive store of Ragnaline. The blast erased most of Dresden and remains one of the largest ever recorded. The Gallian military has maintained its claim that an investigation is underway, offering no further comment on the matter. Eyewitness accounts confirm the characteristic blue glow of Ragnite was present, reinforcing the possibility of a Ragnaline explosion. The massive vehicle spotted exiting the Cloden Wildwood has been confirmed as the dreadnought Marmota. Developed in secret, this marks the weapon's first use in real combat. Faced with the absence of Gallia's army, the militia and Randgri's Royal Guard joined hands in Operation Maiden's Shield, a bid to destroy the Imperial Juggernaut as it traveled a gully shortly after leaving Cloden. Though the team's effort managed to inflict damage to the tank's starboard hull, the operation ended in failure and the loss of most of the Royal Guard. Upon word of this, Gallian Army HQ ordered the capital placed under maximum security, with defensive patrols stationed along the city's perimeter. The European Transnational Union Security Council entreated the warring Federation and Empire on the 4th to come together for peace talks, brokered by the ETU. An emissary sent to meet separately with the foreign ministers of both nations reported a disappointing result. Truly saddening, he proclaimed. Neither power showed any sign of interest regarding a compromise that might end this bloodshed. Seeing the possibility of peace talks nipped in the bud makes it seem likely that the conflict will grow more heated still before abating. The 3rd Regiment, our correspondence partners in the Gallian militia, succeeded in putting Imperial tank ace General Radi Jaeger to rout at Vassal, a stone's throw away from the capital. With Jaeger defeated, the Empire's invading force consists solely of the Marmota, still on the advance toward Randgri's gates, and an accompanying squad following behind it. This miraculous win has given Gallia a spark of the hope that was all but lost after the failure of Operation Maiden's Shield. In the wake of their victory, the militia has taken hold of the Great Vassal Bridge and begun to move out in pursuit of the Marmota. The Gallian government has issued an emergency draft of all able-bodied Randgreasers to form a last-ditch defensive line against the incoming Imperial Dreadnought Marmota. The draft encompasses everyone ages 15 to 29 as well as men of ages 30 to 45. Because of its grave ramifications for Gallian's economy, only Princess Cordelia possesses the constitutional right to enact this 3rd draft. The princess, however, has not been seen in public since her appearance at a parliamentary meeting last month, and rumors from within Castle Randgri suggest she may be seriously ill. At present, Prime Minister Borg is handling nearly all of Gallia's political affairs, with this draft proposal bearing his name as well. Whew.
Come back and see the writing on the wall again soon. I'll be waiting for you.
I'm afraid there's nothing left of use to you in this addled brain of mine. You're already on par with your father. Every bit the hero Belgian was. Go on, Welkin. Gallia needs you. Pull this nation back from the brink.
Whew. And before taking care of that giant tank,
Welcome, Gunther. For your squads,
collect all these weapons. I wonder if he could do a shock trooper only run. Probably not. Jaeger's tank would definitely not allow that. Lancer run might work though.
May your allegiance to Gallia stand firm evermore.
May as well check out all these decorations first. Liberate Fozen, liberate Magyar, recapturing of Groenlandia, save Gallia in times of need, once General Gunther, performed exceptionally as by defeating an elite officer of an opposing army, defeated more than 250 enemies, defeated more than 500, defeated 1,000 enemies. Presented to a team or squad to honor a fallen member. Wounded in the line of duty. Presented to a squad that has reached exceptional levels of skill through training and battlefield experience. So that one's for getting all of the training maxed out. Given to an officer who's demonstrated remarkable skill as a leader through mastery of the art of command, which would be from learning all the orders. Presented to a squad shown to have procured a robust and effective arsenal through hard work and thorough development. Okay, so this one, you have to do all of the researches and get all of the enemy ace weapons. Presented to a squad shown to have assembled exemplary tanks through tireless work and exhaustive development. All of the tank upgrades and all of the enemy tank aces destroyed. Made to celebrate the initial publication of the completed on the Gallian front, given only to those at Chronicles. Buying all the reports, I guess. Part of the Holy Shield, based on the Valkyrian shield, is presented to a squad shown to have earned victory without a single casualty. That only counts the ones that are after you've gotten the first medal. So, after you saved Cordelia, then you have to do a victory without a single casualty. With exceptional speed would be for A rank. Crest of Honor, given only to heroes who demonstrate complete military mastery. And that would be for A ranking everything. Whew. Including all of the skirmishes, which I will not be going into. Whoop, nope. I'll finish these off next time.